What's going on, Jerome's? Unfortunately for us Minnesota Vikings fans, is definitely draft season, and a big question is, will the Minnesota Vikings at number 12 overall go after a future franchise quarterback in the first round with the new GM, with the new head coach, who did not sign Kirk Cousins, who did not draft Kellen Mond? Everything is up in the air. And the Draft Network, they do great work over there. Kyle Krabs, our boy, latest mock draft of the Vikings, do go signal caller at 12, but I got some beef. I got some beef, so let's talk about it. Going through the picks ahead of the Vikings. At 1, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in. Aiden Hutchinson, the edge rusher out of Michigan. What up, respect. As I adjust the window in real time. But Hutchinson at 1 does make a ton of sense. A guy you compare with Josh Allen, and you have one of the best young edge rusher combos in the league. But if I'm Jacksonville here, I don't think there's any trades in this mock draft, but if I'm Jacksonville, I would be tempted to trade down with either the Lions or the Texans. And you can trade down the Lions because you can threaten, hey, we're going to trade with someone else if there's someone that you really like between Hutchinson and Thibodeau. And if both of the Texans and the Lions want to go edge rusher, dropping down to 3, getting some left tackle help for Trevor Lawrence does make a ton of sense. Getting yourself into either the Aquanu or, how far does he fall with the Evan Neal business? He falls down to 7? What? Huh? And he's going to play right tackle? Shoot. I don't know about that. But yeah, I think that you have to protect Trevor Lawrence at all costs, but Hutchinson is a bad dude. Same thing with Thibodeau. He goes to the Lions, so now they got some nice on the edge for Dan Campbell and company. 3, Texans. So Davis Mills showed a little bit there, but they're going to have a new head coach. Maybe they go in a different direction. Caserio is still calling the shots. He is the one who drafted Davis Mills in the 3rd round, so maybe they go quarterback at 3, even though, like we said, I would not be shocked if there's not a quarterback taken in the top 5, but I also won't be shocked if there's 4 or 5 taken in the first round. It's one of those weird drafts. But Stingley Jr., cornerback 1. There was a mock draft we talked about last week where Stingley fell to 12. It's not going to happen in all likelihoods, although it's very dumb to talk in absolutes about the NFL draft. But yeah, I highly doubt Stingley's going to get out of the top 5. The Jets going, Ikem Ekwonu from North Carolina State. Baby. You can play him at guard, pairing up with Elijah Vera Tucker. He's a stud. Play him at right tackle, opposite of Mekhi Becton. Baby. That's how you do. That's how you do for Zach Wilson. Let's go. 5, Giants. So they double dip in both trenches like we talked about. George Kalafdis, the Greek freak, getting off the edge there with Leonard Williams. I love it. Joe Judge is gone. New head coach, new DC, new everything with the G-men. They need to start anew. Although I would not rule out quarterback at 5 either, because the new head coach, new GM, they're not tethered to Daniel Jones. 6, the Panthers break hearts. In the game Hearts, the thing that your grandpa always played on the old-ass Windows 95 computer, when you break hearts, it would make that glass breaking sound. That was nice. Anyway, the Panthers take Kenny Pickett, who I love Kenny Pickett, man. There's questions. The hand size is questionable. Now, there is an internet rumor, unsubstantiated, of course, that his hands are 8.25 inches, and that would be issue since the median quarterback hand size is like 9.25. Even though size don't matter, but for an NFL quarterback gripping a ball, which is slightly larger than a college football, so that's one of the reasons why Kenny Pickett wears 2 gloves, a la Teddy Bridgewater. Even though Teddy had like 9.5-inch hands, but 8.25 is the size of my hands, and I'm 5'7", so that could be issue, but he's obviously worked around it. Would like to see what he does at the Senior Bowl. Obviously, want to see what he does at the Combine and Pro Day, where they use a pro-sized ball. But Kenny Pickett this year, man, 1-year stud like Joe Burrow. He is intriguing to me. Like, if the hands check out, hell, maybe it's just internet rumor that he's never bothered to shoot down, because it would be a weird flex to have your hand on a measuring tape. See, 9.25. What did I tell you? It's weird, man. But Panthers go quarterback, and Matt Rule needs to do something, because I think he's on thin ice, even though he has a 7-year contract. 7, the Giants go Evan Neal, like we talked about. Evan Neal is a bad dude. He is a bad boy. I love him. Evan Neal. I understand you're betting on the upside of Ekwonu with the athletic ability, but Evan Neal blots out the sun, man. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? But yeah, Evan Neal with the G-men. Yeah, go ahead, get some, King. 8, Kyle Hamilton with the Falcons. Man, this is a lot of fun. He's a linebacker. He's a safety. He's everything. absolutely everything for that Falcons defense. Now, you think that maybe Arthur Smith would want to get some offensive weapons or maybe even get into the quarterback business himself because Matt Ryan can't play forever. Yeah, but Kyle Hamilton is a stud here. 9, Andrew Booth Jr. going to Clemson. Ooh, Booth and Patrick Surtain II. Just shut it down. Lock it down. And this is exactly what you have to do if you're in a division with Mahomes, with Herbert, with Derek Carr. Sure, especially if it gets Devontae Adams. This is exactly what you have to do. But, I mean, jumping George Payton. Should you go quarterback here? I don't know, man. 10, Jets get the other Michigan edge rusher, David Ojabo. I think that he is a very high ceiling as well. He kind of is a one-year wonder because last year he was behind Hutchinson as well as FU Pay Me Quiddy with the Colts. What up? So, yeah, Jets, Rob Salah getting a nice edge rusher off the edge. Pair up with Jonathan Franklin Myers. Let's go. 11, so Washington goes with quarterback Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. Now, I like Corral. I do. He does have a little bit of YOLO in him, but I like that. I think part of that is also Lane Kiffin. But Washington, I mean, they're going to be the Commanders. Everyone knows you're going to be the Commanders. Just announce it. Yeah. But Taylor Heineke, I like him. He's not the guy. He's not the guy long term. So Matt Corral landing in Washington. 12, the Vikings going Sam Howell. There's a couple things here. One, I like Sam Howell. He's gritty, gutty. He leaves it all out there. The game between him and Pitt, UNC and Pitt, in the rain, Sam Howell had a messed up shoulder, just out there fighting against Kenny Pickett and the Panthers like a warrior. I love it, man. But there's some concerns. There are some major concerns, and this isn't Mitch Trubisky went to North Carolina. No, Mitch Trubisky Ponder ain't that. But speaking of Ponder, this does to a degree remind me of a Christian Ponder situation where Sam Howell, great leader at North Carolina, good but not great arm, good athleticism as well. You're picking number 12 overall, just like the Vikings 2011. Also, there was a mini rush on quarterbacks, just like there was in 2011, because Cam went at 1, and then it went, who went? Jake Locker and Blaine Gabbert. I believe they went 8 and 10. So there was a run on quarterbacks. Here they go 6 and 11. So maybe the Vikings are just worried. It's like, we're not going to get a quarterback, so we should just take one. I don't know. I don't know, man. But I do have a major concern because North Carolina was top dog last year, but after Howell lost weapons, Diami Brown, Daz Newsome, Javonte Williams, and North Carolina was bad this year, just straight up. Like, the Tar Heels were not good this year. Sam Howell, he tried his best. He couldn't just raise them up to that next level. So I don't mind the idea of a quarterback here. I would be more inclined to take a look at Desmond Ridder, even though I think 12 is a little bit rich for him. Carson Strong on Nevada is interesting. He's got arm for days. He can't move for ish, so you would certainly have to improve the offensive line, although I think 12 is still a little bit high for him. It's a weird spot because I think 12 is on paper high for Howell and Ridder and Malik Willis as well, and Carson Strong, the leftovers of the top tier quarterbacks, the big sixes. But yeah, like if he's the guy, he's the guy, right? Sam Howell with Dalvin, with Justin Jefferson, with Thielen, with KJ. I understand that. Also, if you have a new shiny head coach, maybe one who's offensive minded, maybe a Nathaniel Hackett type, I don't know. Maybe a Brian Daboll, I don't know. Not Kellen Moore after that game Sunday. Now screw that noise. But I would understand it. I would have some worries, especially if you have that nice on the board like Jordan Davis, DeMarvin Leal, Tyler Linderbaum, especially, baby, Travon Walker. I mean, come on, especially if you have to get rid of Daniil. Jamison Williams, that would be fun. Even though with the ACL, even though wide receiver is pretty damn deep, even though, like we said, we are team BPA, we are not team drafting for need because it keeps you drafting for need. But McCreary is there. Hell, Garrett Wilson, Kenyon Green. Sauce Gardner lasts till 23. Shoot. I mean, come on, man. In this spot, I would probably either take Linderbaum or Davis or Sauce and try and roll the dice in the second round. And hopefully a Ridder or a Malik Willis, because Carson Strong goes to the Steelers in this draft. I think he's the only other quarterback taken because, I think 4 go. Jahan Dotson goes to the Bills. Come on, son. Come on. Shoot. I hate all that. Chiefs get Chris Olave. What? The Bucks get Treylon Burks. Tyler Johnson will never play. Forever and ever. Amen. God. Cameron Thomas, Trey McBride. No. All that stuff. All right, so only 4 quarterbacks are taken. So Desmond Ridder is in play. Malik Willis is in play for the second round. I'd be more apt to do that. Try to maneuver in the top of the second round or getting into the back end of the first round. Who knows who the Vikings GM is going to be? So maybe that will be their MO. But, I mean, like I said, I understand the pick of quarterback at 12. I think it's a little bit spicy for Sam Howell. I think that, again, he's his own guy, and we should not let history just like hammer us. It's like how the Texans should have drafted Derek Carr in the second round in 2014 as opposed to a guard who is gone, right? But they couldn't because of their history with his brother David Carr. But there's too many Christian Ponder parallels. I mean, stylistically, Howell and Ponder, number 12, run on quarterbacks. I don't know. I'm just talking my ass. But like I said, I love his spunky attitude. I think he's a good leader of men. And he showed what he could do last year at UNC when he's surrounded by a ton of talent. Coming here in Minnesota, maybe he's not a guy that can drag your team by the scruff of its neck if it's low on talent at this stage of his career. But maybe he develops. Maybe he develops that gene. And after a couple years of playing with top-tier talent, and maybe there's some lean years with the Vikings, and then he just has to drag their ass along. Maybe he'll do that eventually, but I don't know. Your thoughts are our thoughts. Take a look at the Draft Network's latest mock draft. Sam Howell, QB, number 12. Let's know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.